Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Joey.T. from the Cartoon.P. I just wanted to do another vlog on some news regarding a new show coming on Cartoon Network. Or should I say new? It's kind of a reboot. In case you're wondering, I'm talking about the new Powerpuff Girls reboot. Obviously, there's no episode 2 have come out. I've remained quiet regarding the news. They've casted the new voices. I've touched about it in one editorial regarding voice acting, but for the most part, I've stayed quiet since the show actually hasn't come out yet. So, what is there to say if you don't really have a lot to go from? And I mean, you could always make speculations here and there, but why I'm doing it right now is because they did release a clip, a sneak preview of what to expect from the new show. And given the clip that I've had to see, I thought it looked good. I mean, it didn't look great. It didn't look fantastic. But as far as the Powerpuff Girls show goes, I thought it looked pretty neat. But before I go in and talk about my thoughts, here's my experiences regarding the Powerpuff Girls. So, I'm a 90s kid. So, I got cable around 95, 96. So, my first experience with Powerpuff Girls was through the What a Cartoons segments on Cartoon Network, where they have pilots to new and upcoming shows. You got a couple like Mike, Lou, and Og that showed up there. I think there was like a predecessor to Kids Next Door that showed up there too. Oh, and you also had the show that inspired Family Guy that didn't make it for Cartoon Network. Now, just imagine how that would have turned out if Family Guy was toned down for Cartoon Network. Of course, it was called Larry and Steve at the time, but regardless of that, my first experience to the Powerpuff Girls was through the What a Cartoons. And to be honest with you, I really liked the look of the show. I liked that it had the style of Dexter's Laboratory, which you can owe to the fact that one of the creators, Gendy Tartakovsky, helped work with the creator of the Powerpuff Girls to make that show. So you can have some similarities in some character designs here and there, and the comedy too. And to be honest with you, I liked the show. I liked, from what I saw then and even now, I thought it was pretty enjoyable. Now, when the show did come out, I noticed a lot of people love this show and love to praise this show for the fact that it has 3 female protagonists who are just young girls, but they're kicking ass, taking names. And as far as like shows go, we didn't get to see too many shows where the main heroes are these ass-kicking girls, because at the time, you had just as many boys admitting to the fact that they loved watching this show as did the girls, who people thought that was what they was intended for. But if you did actually see the show, you would feel that it was very much unisex. This is a show that's intended for everyone, or just anybody who likes to see little girls kick the asses of giant monsters. I mean, who wouldn't like to see that? Raise a hand, anybody? No? Okay, whatever. And again, my experiences with the show, I thought it was good. I thought it was very entertaining, and the fact that it lasted this long throughout the years, not SpongeBob length, but like Rugrats length, and it stayed in, the public eye and pop culture. It's gone away for a little bit, but now this is a chance to reinvent the characters, and as far as that goes, it's a hit or miss thing. I mean, I grew up in a time when Scooby-Doo was being remade, and still being remade 20 times over, and in some ways, when a show has that power, when a show has that influence to be brought back for another generation and possibly work for another generation, it just shows how strong the original source material was. To be honest with you, I'm looking forward to seeing a reboot of Yogi Bear sometime. I mean, I think he's due for one. Anybody feel like we need to see the Laugh Olympics again? Raise the hands, anybody again? No? Okay, whatever. So the fact that we're getting a new Powerpuff Girls show and that it's being reinvented for a new audience is kind of exciting, because I feel like a lot of kids are going to get what's so cool about the show. In some ways, it's kind of like the original My Little Pony, where, like I said, this is a show that even boys, even though it stars 3 girls, boys probably enjoyed it more than the girls. But in all fairness, when this clip came out, and even the news coming up to this, I've just been looking at the responses for it, and it's just getting blasted. Like, my God, people are just crucifying this and just not giving this any sort of chances here or there. I mean, like, I haven't seen this much bent up nerd rage since Man of Steel came out. Like, wow, I mean, dang, people are just hard on this. And to be honest with you, there's a lot of strengths to it. And I mean, there's some things that I think could be better, but it also shows the strength of the original show as well as some of the flaws from the original Powerpuff Girls show. So the clip is a short 30, 45 minute seconds teaser where you see Buttercup kicking the ass of, I guess, a villain of the show. And it's got what you expect, a guy in a giant robot suit. It's got the three girls kicking ass. And you notice a few things. There's a new voice actress for the voice of Buttercup, and it's not E.G. Daily. It's, in fact, a child actress. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think having a child actresses playing the Powerpuff Girls is a pretty smart move because what better choice to have children played by children? Even when I was growing up, I always thought it was weird that the Rugrats and Powerpuff Girls were played by grown women. Even the boys. I don't know. I just always found that weird. And I know it's a common thing for like voice actresses to play children, but even as an adult, I always just found that kind of weird. So the fact that you actually have children playing children is cool. And again, I respect why a lot of people are upset about it because the news going in is that voice actresses were not approached to play the original characters, and this is just a reboot that was a choice by the studio from what I'm getting, as opposed to like something Craig McCracken approved of. I think he did. I mean, there's a lot of news going into this that people don't know about. But from what I had to hear and from what the clip showed, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I like the choice of having a little girl play a little girl because Buttercup is a little girl. And it just shows how cool it is to have an action hero be played by, kindergartners or first grader girls. So seeing that, I thought was pretty cool. I cannot complain about that. Something else that I've noticed about this clip that I think a lot of people didn't like, but I guess I'm kind of a little ambivalent to it, is the art style to the show. It's, from what I had to see, this looks like the art style that most Cartoon Network shows are going for, which is very streamlined, traditionally animated, and bright neon colors. Now, people don't like that it's not going for the same look as the original show, which had thicker lines. I think this is nitpicking because as far as the style goes, as well as the type of animation that's going for it, I think it's very appropriate. I mean, I think this animation style works better for the Powerpuff Girls than that crappy flash animation, computer animation they did about a year ago, which I thought looked terrible. This is something that actually looks faithful to the style of the original show. And the fact that people are complaining about this is what baffles me. It's like, would you rather have something that looks like Teen Titans Go versus something that they actually attempted to do frame by frame, just like the original show? I mean, frame by frame animation is not easy to come by these days. The fact that they're going that direction is very, very cool. And the fact that it's got the same style as Adventure Time, Steven Universe, and Clarence maybe indicates that maybe Cartoon Network wants to do something bigger with this. Maybe they do want to have like bigger storylines, bigger things like that. Because I think while it does look homogenized, and that can be unfair, especially since at the time this show did come out, it was very creator driven, I do think that it shows that from the original show came out, it also had a strong influence of the cartoons then. Like I said before, Dexter's Lab, Genndy Tartakovsky worked on Powerpuff Girls. So you notice a lot of similarities to the look of the Powerpuff Girls than you did to Dexter's Laboratory. And I'm not saying that it was a bad thing because I thought it worked out pretty well. And the same thing kind of goes here. You have some animators from Adventure Time working on the Powerpuff Girls, and it shows that it can work. So like for all the moaning that I hear all the nerds typically do about this show, get a grip on yourself. This is not bad. This is not the worst. This is not Teen Titans Go bad. I think there's at least an attempt to try to stay faithful to what the original show did. And what the original show was all about is about little girls kicking ass and taking names. If this is a show that's not going to show little girls kicking ass, taking names in the style of anime shows from the 60s, then I don't know what to tell you. Then it would be a problem. But for me, that's what it looks like. You see giant mech suits, you see little girls, and you see kicking ass. and you see the animation style similar, I can't complain. And from what I have to see, I'm probably going to see more of it. I might even review it. It might even make me look back at the original Powerpuff Girls. And I guess, like I mentioned before, the strength about this is that this is introducing Powerpuff Girls to a new audience. Like, when I was growing up, I didn't grow up with Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? But my experience came from reinventions of Scooby-Doo. So the fact that we're getting a chance to show a future generation what we had in our childhood and bringing it back for a new generation makes me feel good because it feels like we're sharing the wealth in some ways. It feels like we're giving an opportunity to show a new generation what we had that is fresh and inspiring, and I can't complain about that. So, for whatever you have to say, feel free to say it below. Just be respectful of others. I've dealt with, nerd blasting. That's kind of what I do on a typical basis, but regardless of that, you can subscribe, comment below, tell me what you think. Otherwise, I'm Joey Tedesco. Thanks for watching this vlog, and take care, everybody. Bye.